There we go. Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 6:05. Thank you all for being here. I don't know if you had a chance to look over the minutes of the last meeting. If you have, would you like to make a motion to approve them? Somebody?
I'd like to raise a motion to approve last week's minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye. Good. All those opposed? There are none. All right. The chair is not here to make her presentation. I am instead going to say, remind you, we have no meeting in December. There's a note here that says, do we want to have a holiday party? Last year, what we attempted to do was we do an event every year called On Silent Night, which is a boombox parade through downtown on the Friday before Christmas.
That was fun.
Yeah. You've done it?
I was there that night.
Oh, okay.
Last year, yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
That's okay. I just did, well, I've been in a while, but yes, I remember. We went and walked all the way through North Campus.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Come this year. Anyway, we brought some pizzas over to Little Kings where we gather before the march and had a bunch of pizza, but we didn't have a lot of people. And I know the 19th is a fairly busy time for some people. But that's just one thing I'll throw out there because I know already know what's on the calendar. If we want to do something low key and easy, that would be doing what we did last year, which I think we ordered falafel from the hummus from the National and pizza from Little Kings. Literally, I can speak.
And you love Little Kings.
Yeah, and ate at Little Kings. So, does anybody have any other ideas, or do we even want to mess with this? Do we want to get together?
I thought that was fun last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having an activity that you can do together.
It's a little less just like shut up and kind of, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some active stuff, there's plenty of time to talk and eat, grab a drink if you want, like. Cause you're gonna be doing some good walking, yeah, like, I liked it.
Yeah.
So your parade is the 19th?
The 19th, yeah. Steps off at 7:30 from Little Kings. So I would say if we want to do something, 6. Does that sound appealing to people?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, do we want
It's dark by 5:30 right now. By then, yeah, time change is coming up like in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's dark. It's dark by 5:30.
to, yeah. Or do we want to table it until next month to see if there are more people here and raise it, or we just want to do it unilaterally? Okay.
Let's do it.
We have a holiday party. And then I'll take some responsibility for
I was
this.
about to ask that.
Yeah, since I've been dealing with T about the use of Little Kings. Do we want to, didn't you bring the pizza? You brought the pizza last year? You picked it
I
up?
picked it up.
You picked it up.
I don't know who got the pizza.
I delivered the pizza, no, I paid for the pizzas and now picked them up, is that how it happened?
I remember, I don't think I paid for them, but I definitely remember that walk. Yeah. Cause I was like, I was like, I don't remember paying for it. I just remember somebody was like, go pick up pizzas, and I was okay, and I was like,
We
oh.
always have an event that night, we do this time too, we always have a event, so I paid for everything so that it would be ready and ordered on time, and you told me what time to have the food ready, so I did that, so it was at the National and it.
Oh, yeah.
Still Italy.
Yeah.
So do we have to vote on that, or we can just agree?
We can just agree.
Okay, so that's our party. 6 o'clock, Friday, the 19th of December. And then participation in Unsilent Night is strongly recommended, but not required, of course. It's really fun. I have not talked to Sally, except just her reiterating that she was coming tonight. Is there anything else that the chair needs to address? All right, then I'll stop addressing and turn it over to the staff.
Okay, so just a few updates. Our poetry for the people event got rained out again.
I know, this is the third or fourth time.
Yeah, yeah. The third time. Well, we had initially planned it for July and then, but not advertised it and then. changed
Okay,
it.
that's where I got this.
So there were three dates, yeah, but we're kind of, we're giving up now.
Rain is
So might do something else indoors maybe, before the end of Michaela's, term. Unfortunately, her term is over, in January. That's when she started 2 years ago in January. So that's when her term will be up. We do have that call for poet laureate out now until December 5th. So if you know anyone who would be a good candidate for our poet laureate, it's not just Athens-Clarke County proper, but also the surrounding counties as well are included in the eligibility. Our public art training course that we did, for the first time last year with Triangle Artworks, it was very successful. And, so we are, in the midst of our second, cohort of that group. I'll be meeting with them as part of their, coursework, next Monday. So they meet on Mondays, and I believe the last class is, November 3rd. So they're almost finished, with that second group, and that's, we had 22 people participating this time. I think it was 15 or 16 last time, so a few more this time. And everyone who participated in that class last time, recommended it to a lot of people, so. Our call for community center murals closed, last month. And so the, selections for both Lay Park and Herd Park, also took place sort of the end of last month, beginning of this month. So those, artists have been selected. They're not under contract yet, so we haven't, made any kind of announcements, but that will be forthcoming. They're both really great, designs, and both obviously by local artists, because that was a local only call. So, that's that. And before we get to my presentations, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the other calls for art that are out right now. We do have a call for the Tallahassee Roundabout. That's a sculpture call that is, open until the 7th of next month. Poet laureate I mentioned. We also have the call for our Lantern Parade temporary light sculpture pieces. We've done that the past couple years for the Lantern Parade. The Lantern Parade isn't until March, but this call is open until, mid-January. So people have a lot of time to think of something, and put a proposal together. We are looking for proposals for that. But it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be a quick sketch, as long as people understand your concept and it's something that you can actually build. You know, don't get, fantastical about it and then, not actually be able to follow through with it. So, it's something you can build, sketch it out, show us what you can do. The theme this year is fairy tales and folklore. Yes, So sort of a
Sounds good.
storytelling, anything from myths and legends and, any kind of mythology, it's very open. And of course, the art doesn't have to be, like to the letter with the theme. It just kind of ties everything together with other things that we have planned and other programming, so. So that's another local call. So obviously, anyone if they've come to the Lantern Parade before, put something cool together, encourage them to, put a proposal together. They can at least get paid a little bit of money to do something cool, that they might already be doing. So, and that closes, like I said, mid-January. The other thing, that I'm working on, I'm be installing next week, is a small exhibit over here in the lounge gallery. It's, called Public Works. It's basically sort of, public art kind of behind the scenes, sort of, it's a lot of mock-ups and engineering drawings and things like that are part of the public art process that sometimes people don't get to see because they're just preliminary, drawings, and some of them are really cool. So, that's gonna be, on display just in that room back there, starting October 30th. That's the opening, and it'll be on view until January 3rd. And I'll be doing a gallery talk on December 11th at 5:30, with a couple other artists or public artists, and answering all your burning questions about public art. So be sure to come to that. Which brings me to, our, presentations for tonight. We're gonna be talking about, any recommendations for two different projects. One is for Memorial Park and one's for Animal Services. Go ahead. So, Memorial Park, who's been to Memorial Park? Show of hands. Great, pretty much everybody. It's kind of, it's the park that's near the Five Points area. It's where Bear Hollow Zoo is. It's where Quinn Hall, that Athens Creative Theater uses. There's a pool there, there's basketball, there's all sorts of park things, you know, playgrounds and pavilions and park things. And also a really amazing pond, right? With a fountain. Is that your favorite turtles? It's my favorite part. The turtles, right? It really has everything. So, Bath Memorial Park, it's one of our most popular locations for families to visit, nestled in Five Points. Those walking trails, Birchmore Trail, Bear Hollow Zoo, home to Athens Creative Theater, 72 acres. 2 basketball courts, swimming pool, playground, dog park, fishing pond, pavilions, and picnic areas. We have a SPLOST 2020 project that is improvements for Memorial Park. Things like mostly infrastructure improvements, parking, some retaining walls, things like that. We have a budget of $35,000 for public art for this site. And I met with some of my fellow leisure services staff folks and the user group for this project on August 28th to discuss locations and types of art on site. So this is just sort of a kind of an aerial view, a little map of the park. And, or at least of the pond area, you could see kind of where the parking lot kind of comes down there, and there's the pool, so that little bridge that goes across there, and the one that goes all the way around. So that's, we basically started at the offices over by, you know, where the, you know, the buildings are, those pink buildings over there. We kind of walked down through, the parking lot, down through the playground, and then down to the pond area. And basically, there's no walls and to put a mural on. There's no place for a mural. But there's obviously a lot of opportunities for something three-dimensional. There's a lot of walkways, a lot of, you know, just kind of green spaces just around this general area. So here's some ducks and some turtles. So this is kind of just, if you walk around the pond area, you kind of have a lot of these little green spaces, a lot of bushy things. And it's all sort of kind of similar all the way around, right? Just these beautiful kind of vantage points around the pond. So some of the things that we talked about during this was the staff were really wanting to kind of create a sense of identity separate from the zoo for the park. You know, I guess it would be easy to do something zoo animal related for this, but they're trying to kind of separate themselves from the zoo and kind of create their own unique identity as a park. So that's just something that came up during the discussion, that they, you know, maybe no bears.
Yeah.
Could just put no bears on the call for her, I guess we could, but, you know, they're not wanting it to be very like zoo centric, wanting it to be more about what Memorial Park has. Avoiding the fishing areas too. So in that pond area, there's a lot of little bump out, little, sort of, what would you, platforms or whatever, where people can fish. So we're asked to kind of avoid any placement near there. And also the playground as well, if it's not something that people can explicitly climb on, we kind of avoid putting art near playgrounds. But, definitely something three-dimensional. And it seemed that, you know, since there wasn't any specific area in the pond area, to just kind of leave it more open when we do the call, that it could be pretty much anywhere in this lower pond area, either on the shoreline or in the pond itself, if it's made with that intention. And this would be something where, you know, the call would be an RFQ, so they're, just showing examples of previous work. We would shortlist 3 artists, and then they would come up with their proposal that would be specific for the park. And again, this could be something that goes in the water, around the water, maybe it's multiple things. They just have to clearly explain how it's connected, how it's built, you know, it can't just like, oh, it's a boat, and we just float it out there. You know, it has to show security. That it could be secured, you know, a lot of things came up in discussion, you know, obviously if it's something that's just anchored, tethered, but if someone went in there and untethered it, you know, and things like that. So, it's a really unique opportunity to maybe do a water mounted piece. We haven't done anything like that.
We don't have many opportunities.
We don't have any opportunities to do it. So,
Do you know how deep the lower pond is?
that's a great
'Cause
question.
the upper pond is just swamp now.
It's, yeah.
It's just a.
And eventually it won't be. They're
They're gonna
putting
be,
that out as part of it. There's a lot of pond,
it's muck.
dredging, restoration that is gonna happen.
That's been a
Yeah.
mucky
Yeah.
mess for years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and that's why, you know, that's part of, it's actually, this is gonna be a multi-phase
Yeah.
project. So there's gonna be some more stuff.
That'd be
done
ideal.
At the
That was,
lower end of the lower pond. Say it again, Ian?
I think the upper pond would be ideal for the piece once that's cleaned up, but the lower pond's pretty deep. I mean,
Pretty
that's gotta be at least over 10 feet deep.
I wouldn't, I really.
I mean, I
couldn't tell you.
know every inch of that land. I've walked it 1,000 times.
Okay.
And it's just pretty. There's not a lot of space.
Yeah.
And the lower pond where the X is right dead set in the middle,
Mhm.
that's a really nice spot.
Yeah,
That's
This
a
one.
very long thing and you can actually see the art from
Yeah.
multiple directions from.
yeah, that's this, all of those little exits for.
Yeah.
So it's like this one right here, that's where that.
Yeah, right next to those rocks on the right, where there's a boulder right there.
Mhm.
That has grown up a lot too.
So,
There's a lot of.
That-
potential.
in mind, given that this is kind of a unique opportunity, option one, be recommending the lower pond area, just kind of in general, whether it's in the pond, around the pond, for art, or to not recommend that. So, if someone would like to make a motion.
I'd like to raise a motion to vote on the proposal right here about Memorial Park.
So I'd like to make a motion for option A.
I'll make a motion for option.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, all right. All in favor? Yes, okay. All right. Motion carries. Yeah.
Thank you.
Animal services. So this is an interesting project. It's a very small budget project. It's mostly, I'll describe it to you. So Athens-Clarke County Animal Services provides the following services for citizens: adoption or reclaiming, impounded or surrendered dogs, cats, and other domestic animals, enforcement of Athens-Clarke County Animal Services ordinances, information regarding lost or found pets, investigations of allegations of animal cruelty, et cetera, et cetera. Anything animal related, our animal services people are taking care of that over at the Animal Services Building over on Buddy Christian. SPLOST 2020 Project 24 is an animal services improvements project. It's going to fund a variety of facilities improvements, most of it just increasing their capacity to better serve all the critters. However, it's not a huge budget for art. It's only $2,000 for art. So because it is such a small budget, we can't really do too much with it, but the wonderful folks at Animal Services had a really great idea. There's this wall that is just to the side, but that's the front entrance right there. So when you come down Buddy Christian Way, that would be the front door if you were going in there to adopt a new puppy or kitty or something, or reclaim one that ran away. And then this wall right here is just to the side. And they have this idea that if they were to maybe paint some kind of frame, like, sort of like a step and repeat kind of thing, like just photo op. Yeah, a photo op spot. So like when you adopt your new puppy or kitty, you can stand and get your photo taken right here on the side, holding your beloved new creature. And, maybe it says, I found my forever home or something very cute. I don't know, whatever.
There's opportunity.
May I ask as a junker if you're a pet owner?
I have 5 cats.
Okay,
Oh.
all right.
In fact, I met many more when I was here this day that I would love to have join my brood. So, like I said, it's maybe like, what, 4 by 6, they're looking for something there. So I thought that was a really fantastic idea, especially given the budget.
Mhm.
And we also discussed maybe limiting this call to just those that participate in our public art class cohort, because it's such a good beginner project for actual, paint on the wall kind of thing. And we even met with, our folks from Safety and Risk last week to talk about maybe making it, it's not from, from procurement, yes, about some of the insurance requirements for that, if we can maybe make it a little bit more controlled, and they wouldn't necessarily need to have insurance to do a very small project like this, where we can kind of rope everything off. So that's something we'll be kind of working on separately. That's not really part of the recommendation tonight, because we've got to make sure that we can actually do that. But as far as the type and location, that was kind of really the only, public facing place to put anything there at Animal Services. Most of the stuff there is kind of behind the scenes. And it would kind of, fulfill a very unique, need at the Animal Services to have just something to kind of celebrate these new adoptions and things like that. So option 1 would be to approve this recommendation, and option 2 would be to not recommend that. So can I get a motion for option 1?
I'll make a motion for option 1.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Yeah, all in favor? Great.
Ooh, that's really cute. I like that idea of the frame. Like, that's such a perfect for such a low budget. That's like such a good.
Like something that they should be able to do in like a day or two, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's a small budget, but also a small project.
I love when they just kind of slot perfectly,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just like, it's a good, there's only so much you can do with the space, there's the money, like.
We think working with the cohort will give them like thing to apply for and work that. So we're gonna
And
work on that.
catch and hold them, you know, once they actually have their first one under their
Yeah.
belt, we got them forever, you know?
Something that they
They
actually.
Yeah,
So. it's
I think that's
a
good.
Opportunity for them. They're not all muralists, and they may not all want to do it because it would be kind of a, you know, more traditional RFP where they'd have to put a proposal together to do it, but, you know, I think we'll get some good ideas from that and.
Our plan was to extend it to both the cohort, the previous group and the current group, so that you have,
Mm.
People, so.
we get a chance to apply for it through a proposal. Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
And that is it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it just the cats or dog and cats?
Dogs and cats, they adopt out there, and I think maybe bunnies too, I've seen bunnies on there, rabbits, yeah.
Yeah, they do have bunnies. Sorry for again scaring you all.
And God spoke of the bunnies. Okay. That's fantastic. So is that it for you?
That's, yeah, that's all I got. Stephanie, did you want to have anything?
I think that's everything for, yep.
Cool. Anybody got anything fun going on? Or know of something cool that's coming up soon?
My birthday. Sorry. October 30th.
Oh, that's,
What,
that's
10 days
another
away.
Scorpio in our midst.
Yes. Also, the next, word of mouth is gonna be at the Globe upstairs on November. It's the first Wednesday of every month. Give me a second.
That's the 5th.
Okay, then I was right, November 5th. I thought I was wrong. Yeah, so that's gonna be upstairs at the Globe.
Cool. Two-pack events. This Sunday is one of the premier Bach players in the world. This woman named Angela Hewitt is doing some jazz Bach, and then it's a whole program of fugues. And she gets into the 20th century too. But the whole second half is this big Brahms piece that she's killer. And then on Tuesday is Dreamer's Circus, which is one of the guys from the Danish String Quartet and two folk players. It's two Danes and a Swede. And their fun fact. They're Miyazaki's favorite band, which is kind of fun. So they actually wrote a piece called Waltz for Miyazaki.
Oh.
But it's on our website, so if you're curious, go. Anybody else? Stuff happening.
Thing going on right now, early voting.
Yes, very important. Good for you. It's very cool.
Work at the public library this weekend, so I'll probably get a turn on that.
Yeah.
It's fun with the voting places where you work, right? We have.
Go, yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow night here at the London House Arts Center, we're gonna have a special occasion to name the upstairs gallery after Nancy Lukashevitz. So the downstairs gallery is named after her husband, Ronnie, and now we're gonna name the gallery just above after Nancy. So there'll be a dedication ceremony for that tomorrow night, as well as like a bench that was created in their honor of their memory and their contribution, their immeasurable contribution to the Athens arts community. Ronnie and Nancy's work is really what made the Linden House Art Center this building from the old historic house where they taught classes back in the day. And then that's what inspired the momentum to build this beautiful space. So we're excited to honor Nancy's work here at the Linden House with that naming tomorrow night. And then our ACT's Got Talent, I think, is also coming up on the November, some of the auditions for that are for the 7th. So that's, if you're like going for a talent show with our new Athens Creative Theater has a new director, so. And just, what else do we have? The East Athens Educational Dance Center recital will be on Saturday, November 1st at, we're having it at Herb Park Community Center because the dance center is closed for some much needed reconstruction. So if you want to come see some beautiful children dance, highly recommend that. Then I just wanted to point out that at the Morton Theater this Friday is hang on, I have to read it out loud. It's not one of our events, but it's a rental, but I've just never, something I've never experienced before, which is Hindustani classical vocal concert. So it's like classical music and classical vocals. So it's interesting, the Heartfulness Institute. So if you're interested in that, check it out, because we're excited to have them, because we haven't had any group like this before, this kind of vocal performance. So that's kind of cool, happening at the Morton this Friday night.
Cool.
I guess
Any old business, any new business? I am. Yeah, I have something to say. So I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn at 6:36.
Motion to
We have a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn, we have a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjourning?